Whoa, hold everything for a second. All eyes on you, Yinzer Nation. Jack Romano here, live from the Steel City, and the news today is absolutely on fire. We've got an OL cut, a Pro Bowl veteran signing, a potential young target hitting the market, and the heart of our defense in hold-in mode. 4 moves, one common thread. How do you maintain the Rooney standard on offense while preserving that Pittsburgh passion in the trenches? Black and Gold Pride wants answers now. Take a deep breath, because every single decision is a chess move for the season and could redefine our Steel dynasty. Ready to face the facts? Stick around and let's break it down. But before we get into the details of the latest Steelers news, just a quick request. If you like this kind of analysis, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow and keeps this passionate Steelers community alive. We're in this together. First bombshell of the day, my friends, the cut of Nick Broeker. It might seem like just another roster move, but nothing is by chance in the Steel City. The guy arrived in May, young, versatile, with that college pedigree. 4 solid seasons at Ole Miss, a Kent Hull Trophy, All-America, All-SEC, played left tackle, then guard. He had the DNA. But the reality is that in Pittsburgh, if you can't find your footing fast, the door starts spinning. Broeker came from the Texans, where he barely saw the field. 9 offensive snaps in 2 years, all at right guard. The cold, hard truth? The NFL doesn't wait, and Black and Gold Pride waits even less. The arrival of Andrus Peat forced the roster adjustment, and there's no way around it. Someone had to lose their spot, especially with the Steelers also needing to make room for quarterback Logan Woodside, who came in with that same package of changes. And it's wild how the offensive line is being tweaked with such precision. Last week it was Lecitus Smith who was let go, now Broeker, and even long snapper Tucker Addington. All of this to align the protection for Aaron Rodgers and give the offense flexibility. Now speaking fan to fan, I have to admit I expected to see Broeker at least compete for snaps in the preseason, versatility counts, but maybe the staff saw that the execution didn't match the resume. Ultimately, it's that silent message. Mike Tomlin isn't going to wait for anyone to get up to speed. Either you deliver now, or you make room for the next guy. And don't you find it interesting that the Steel dynasty is cutting youth to bet on experience at this very moment? Stay tuned, because in the next segment, I'll tell you about the new giant who has arrived to reinforce that line and is already promising an immediate impact. And that's where Andrus Peat comes in, fans, and I'm telling you, this guy didn't come to Iron City for a stroll. 3-time Pro Bowler, 10 years of NFL experience under his belt, 6'7", and 313 pounds of pure human wall. The Steelers signed him to a 1-year deal, and listen, he's already made it clear. He's ready to hit the field right now. I feel great, healthy, ready to go, he said. And we know that not just anyone can say that in August and have the credibility to back it up. The truth is, this signing is a band-aid on a wound from the past few weeks. Calvin Anderson sidelined with an injury, Broderick Jones returning from a groin issue, rookie Gareth Warren also dealing with a leg problem. Tomlin doesn't like to improvise with protection, and Peat arrives as that immediate solution. The most interesting thing is his versatility. He started as a guard, moved to tackle, went back to guard, and last year played tackle again. Always more on the left side, but he's already said that if needed, he'll take on the right side too. That's gold for adjusting Rodgers' pocket without changing the entire scheme. And honestly, this is the kind of reinforcement that shows Black and Gold Pride still knows how to move fast on the market. The guy was a first-round draft pick by the Saints in 2015, spent 9 years there, then 1 season with the Raiders, and now this might be the last stop of his career. His attitude? Total respect for the opportunity. The talk of a guy who's going to earn his spot by working. And I'll tell you, for a team that's tweaking the OL so much, having a veteran of this caliber, who's healthy and eager to prove himself, is almost a luxury. But of course, we still need to see if the chemistry clicks and if he can adapt to the rhythm of the Pittsburgh offense. So, is Peat just an emergency safety net, or could he become an absolute starter? In the next segment, I'm going to tell you about a name that could be a game changer if he arrives. Young, talented, and on the open market. Now hold on to your hats, because the conversation is getting hot. Jedrick Wills, 26 years old, former first-round draft pick, is a free agent and the Steelers are monitoring him closely. A hot source straight from Heinz Field guarantees his name is on the table and, listen, the fit is almost perfect. Youth and experience combined. the versatility to play on both sides of the line, solid in pass protection, and with that kind of grit that makes the offensive coordinator dream of more aggressive formations without fear of the pocket collapsing. And that's not all. Wills could be that technical mentor for our younger tackles, accelerating their development curve and increasing internal competition. Today, the tackle position lacks depth and consistency, and if you've seen what's happened in recent years, you know that has cost us games and maybe even seasons. Financially, his value, just over $2.2 million a year, is within Omar Khan's wiggle room. In other words, it wouldn't be a move that compromises the salary plan. Of course, the final decision involves analyzing his recent injury history and whether he adapts to the blocking scheme Pittsburgh designed for this year. But internally, from what I'm told, there's almost a consensus. If he signs, he brings an immediate impact. Now think about it with me, fans. Protecting Aaron Rodgers isn't just a priority, it's an obligation. And a player like Wills opens up a range of possibilities for the offense without having to reinvent the wheel, and I can already imagine the Steel City buzzing if this deal goes through, because it's rare to see a talent of this level available this time of year. But, as always, the risk exists. So tell me, would you bet on him now, or would you wait a little longer to see if the market offers something better? In the next segment, we're going to talk about a bombshell that just exploded in training camp and involves an icon of our defense and the Rooney Standard. And my friend, it's impossible not to feel the weight of this news. Cam Hayward, the heart and soul of the defense, in another chapter of a contract dispute. Yes, again, for the second straight training camp. The guy practiced in the first 12 sessions, did his individual drills, but in team practices, he vanished. Officially, it looks like veteran rest, but on the inside, it's a classic hold-in. He wants a contract restructure, and he said it all, or nothing, with just 3 words. I'm not talking. And he also dropped that enigmatic message on Instagram. When you take things for granted, the things granted to you are taken away. Look, Hayward isn't just any player. Last year, at 35, he was All-Pro for the 4th time, Pro Bowl for the 7th, the moral and technical leader of this defense. Stats: top 6 in sacks, top 4 in pressures and tackles for loss, leader in passes deflected among D linemen. And even so, his salary is below other guys of the same caliber. He currently has 2 years on his contract, $14.75 million this year, $14.5 in 2026, high numbers, but ones that don't reflect the market that's been reset for elite D linemen. The thing is, the Steelers have a history of only restructuring contracts with 1 year left, and Hayward still has 2. But there have been exceptions, like Antonio Brown in 2016, and that's where the hope for a quick resolution lies. But in the meantime, every day he's not at practice weighs on the team. It's not just the technique, it's the emotional impact. This is the guy who kept the Pittsburgh passion alive even in the toughest years. And now, the front office is in a dilemma. Give in and break internal policy or risk shaking up the locker room. So, what do you think? Should the Steelers open the wallet to keep Cam motivated, or should they stick to tradition? Because I'll be back soon with a conclusion to tie all this together and tell you where, in my opinion, this team really stands today. So, let's bring it full circle, fans. Today, the Steel City is facing decisions that test the very DNA of the Rooney Standard. Cutting Bruker, betting on Pete's experience, monitoring Wills, and managing the tension with Hayward. It all connects to a single question. How much should we risk now to keep the Steel dynasty alive? Protecting Rodgers and preserving our dominant defense is more than just strategy. It's survival. I believe that with courage and the right moves, it's still possible to dream in Pittsburgh. If this analysis reminded you why you believe in the Steel Curtain, comment below. Is it still possible to dream in Pittsburgh?